to Southern California and Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Detroit Lions and our home team. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Blitz coming, and down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. The first carry now. This is Hill. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Let's go! Let's go! And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd down, it's Hill. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They stick on the ground on 1st down with Hill. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
5 plays there on that drive. And the capper, a 19-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And now running right through it. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here come the Lions now. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On third down, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
They'll start the drive with Hill. He's got a first down past the 30 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back. Check 31, check 31.
First down, and it's Hill again. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, Hill. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Check 52.
And now Murray's going to set up to throw. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. If you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the...
Is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. fighting his way through contact. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 59 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Here's Murray. They'll roll him out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. And he's going to go down again. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
But this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Mayfield trying to get him up to the line as fast as he can. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. On the ground, this is Johnson. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Lions punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Murray. Flushed out right. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Scott Miller, 69 yards. And the Chargers have taken the lead. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flushed from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading back out, Baker Mayfield, as we call up our player spotlight. And this is, unfortunately for him, a montage he's probably not going to want to keep here for his files.
And I'm not so sure that he would describe it as a spotlight, although it is beating down on him pretty well, as is the rush. He's been hit, harassed, uncomfortable. It's been a really, really tough day for him.
Been sacked 6 times. See all that pressure coming from all angles. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A big play there. 75 yards. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Murray now on first down. He sets to fire deep. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there just before halftime. 53 yards. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
On second and 11 now. Murray, he's going to air one out. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Throwing on second and 8. Murray forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a goal. Second and goal from inside the 5. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are able to regain the lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now Johnson, big hold of the 30. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Throwing, Mayfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw, Mayfield.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Let's take it inside his own 40. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've just...
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there. Now it's 3rd down and inches. They go to Johnson again. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Taking it about the 16. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on first down is Murray. They complete it to Hill. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now on 2nd and 13, Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. And once again, Hill, he's been busy. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Now, aren't I,
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. On 2nd and 15 now. Mayfield, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Mayfield, and the pressure gets to him again. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Mayfield now. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And he'll give it here to his running back. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on, and they decided to...
And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. From 8 yards out, the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. To try again after the sack. Mayfield. And picked up by the Chargers. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Badgley on for the extra point. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Charger defensive unit making their way back out there. They've got the victory in sight. You've been in this spot before back in your playing days. How nice is it to go out there pretty much knowing this is a victory?
It's beyond nice. It's what you build for each and every week that you're getting ready to play. And that's a tough, long week of practice. But to be able to turn it into a win and be able to enjoy it, yeah, that's why you play.
Now they'll just be looking here for one final stop in the waning moments. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and Vic. And he's going to go down again. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Here comes the Lions punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he'll back up a few steps as he'll make the fair catch at about the 8-yard line. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The Charger drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts.